GOGOLFEST is a unique festival taking place in Kyiv. Here, the project Stage of Displaced Person by a German theater in Berlin is being presented. The Lithuanian focus is a favorite of the theatrical program of the festival, and Babylon, an opera show by Vlad Troitsky, became the path from the abyss to a dream. Watch now this major art research from a new, unexpected perspective. GOGOLFEST, which always offers new, interesting performances, is one of the most anticipated events for modern youth. I try to support it in different ways and do everything I can. Unfortunately, our state has limited financial opportunities this year. I think we should plan next year's festival and plan all the expenses beforehand, and we certainly will. There were participants from around the world at the art forum. Organizers focused on unity and cooperation, joint art to reach an understanding and create a cultural chord to combine different points of view. The main message of this GOGOLFEST is, we are forming a platform for a new story that pulls us out of the abyss and into the dream. This is a place where people learn to trust each other and move towards their goals together. An exclusive theatrical program, The Stage of Displaced People, told the stories of those who lost their home. A German director, Georg Janot, works in theaters around the world. In Ukraine, he founded the Theater of Displaced People, where he raised the problems of IDPs from Crimea and Donbass. Despite his huge experience, Georg Janot still considers this work to be challenging and responsible. Why do we use our own stage? Because our aim is not only to make a show, which is quite usual for festivals, but to organize a place for dialogue where we can learn how to better cover the difficult topic of refugees and their displacement. It's not only a Ukrainian theme now. Currently, it's one of the most serious problems in the world. For this purpose, we invited the Berlin Theater to present a performance by Syrian refugees.
Самая острая мировая проблема может быть, почему мы из Берлина и пригласили спектакль, который сделали беженцы из Сирии.
The guest performances by the Maxim Gorky Theater from Berlin awoke Ukrainians' will to learn about the problems of refugees in Europe, to share their thoughts and to support each other.
Это место, где идет страшная война.
It's a place where a terrible war with hundreds of thousands of civilian casualties is going on, a war in which chemical weapons were used. Last year, Germany sheltered 800,000 refugees from the whole world, so it's the highest importance to invite a foreign play to GOGOLFEST. It was needed for everyone to realize that the war is going on not only in Ukraine and Donbass. It's a challenge to the entire world order, and we can teach each other how to deal with this problem through dialogue.
Это мировая проблема, и как мы можем в диалоге тут учить друг у друга, чтобы с этой проблемой справиться.
Psychologists always work in such theaters. They claim that theater is the last refuge during the escape. The war is still going on, and our souls and our bodies have already been saved from the horrors of war and persecutions. Ukrainian, Syrian, and German actors try to find answers to these questions on stage, their last refuge.
Die Möglichkeit einer Partnerschaft zu zerstören, Einsamkeit. Es gibt niemanden, Flucht und Krieg habe ich mir 6 Punkte auf die Hand tätowiert.
The performance, The Skeleton of an Elephant in the Desert, is what a Syrian author witnessed during the war in Syria. When you are waiting for your partner and you're surrounded, trapped in the abandoned city, there's no bridge to cross, and your friend turns into your enemy. The only way out is loneliness, and everything you see eventually transforms the city into the skeleton of an elephant in the desert. The above words are performed by actors who have experienced real challenges.
Конечно, автор, он это видел своими глазами, но это художественный текст, который...
Of course, the author was a witness to it all, but it's a literary text, which is based on his experiences and emotions. Every actor on this stage has lived through similar things, so they all have the right to speak about it. We're not artists here, but witnesses.
Свидетели.
The Maxim Gorky Theater from Berlin launched a theatrical project for actors, directors, and artists from different countries who were forced to leave their homes. This theater is a model of new modern society, whose main goal is integration of refugees into a new community. Every year, GOGOLFest presents projects supported by international institutions. In 2016, the Lithuania-Ukraine Cultural Partnership Project was implemented in Ukraine, and the Lithuanian Focus program became the culmination of this project. It took place at GOGOLFest. This festival is unique because it would be much easier to organize a theater, music, or art festival. Organization of such a festival requires great effort and a serious approach.
Серьезно, да. Мы представили 7 спектаклей в этом году на GOGOLFest, и в принципе
This year, we presented 7 plays at GOGOLFest. These plays were staged by those who wanted to present their art in Ukraine. We collected these initiatives to create a new program based on them. We carefully selected the participants, as it was impossible to have everyone who wanted to participate in this festival. All of the plays were experimental in style. The Lithuanian program presented at GOGOLFest was large-scale. However, the number of people willing to visit this event didn't decrease. What was very pleasant, and what is even more, famous Lithuanian stage directors came to show their plays to the Ukrainian audience. There were also 2 plays by one of the most famous and influential theater directors, Oskaras Kashanovas. He's the winner of several international awards. The actors involved in the Lower Depths play by the Maxim Gorky Theater stay close to the audience. Everyone is waiting for the beginning of the play, which has no scenery and no other theatrical magic. There will be no close contact between the actors and their audiences. European theater critics call Oskaras Kashanovas a young genius of Lithuanian theater. This experimentalist enjoys participating in both the Evenong Festival and GOGOLFest. He's a very talented stage director who follows his own style. He has students who helped him stage his first play at GOGOLFest. He had a lot of work to do at home, so that's why he didn't come to the festival. Stage director Oskaras Kashanovas and actor Juozas Budraitis had been fostering the idea to stage Beckett's Crepes' last tape for over 2 decades. And finally, in 2013, the play was staged in the Vilnius City Theater. It is one of the brightest examples of the theater of the absurd. This play, dedicated to the painful topic of aging, was presented at the GOGOLFest in Ukraine. We've wanted to come for a long time, but the situation was unfavorable. It's a great pleasure for us to bring 2 plays in the framework of the Lithuanian Focus and Cultural Exchange. However, Juozas Budraitis has visited Kyiv with this play before. So this play is being performed in Kyiv for the 2nd time and will be performed at GOGOLFest for the 1st time.
С Юозасом Будрайтисом. Так мы уже 2-й раз приезжаем с этим спектаклем. Но GOGOLFest — это абсолютно 1-й раз.
Juozas Budraitis is one of the most famous actors of the Soviet era and People's Artist of the Republic of Lithuania. He plays the main and the only role in Krep, having a retrospective journey back to his past. Krep is an old person who is recalling his life events, listening to the recordings of his own voice made many years ago. Theater critics consider this play to be the saddest and the most powerful play by Samuel Beckett, and extraordinarily, Juozas Budraitis brilliantly played his role. Only a few stage directors have the opportunity to work with such great actors as Juozas Budraitis. Oskaras Kashanovas says that he would never stage his play by Beckett without Juozas Budraitis, who is perfect for this role, thanks to his age, experience, and intelligence. After the play, Juozas Budraitis had a 2-hour conversation with the audience. I noticed that people perceived the Crepes' last tape play in different ways. The play had the warmest welcome in Tbilisi. My friend Rezo Asadzi came to me after the performance and said, I was crying during the whole performance. You know, I'm a man who never worries, but I was crying all the time. Let's have some wine.
такой человек, который не волнуется. Я все время плакал. Пойдем пить вино.
Ioozes Budreitis is an incredibly interesting actor and narrator, but we still have much to see, opera for example. At another of the festival's locations, Opramania independent group presented one more hit in the framework of the Lithuanian focus, Have a Good Day Opera. The main characters are supermarket cashiers who sing their stories. The contemporary opera was staged by 3 women, stage director Rugale Borzhikaite, playwright Vava Grinit, and composer Lena Lapalette. It is their joint project. While working on this performance, the girls talked to real sales clerks a lot and listened to their conversations between each other. So these are real portraits. The actresses were selected from Vilnius choral singers who had the proper appearance for the role. Have a Good Day Opera shows different fates of cashiers whose personalities are hidden with a fake smile and mechanical service. Their good afternoon, thank you, have a good day, all that is just a mask. Faceless, robot-like shop workers. Faceless, robot-like shop workers are transformed into unique and lively characters in the opera. The monotonous beep of each item being scanned is the key sound throughout the whole opera. It gets louder and quieter, but it's always present. Cashiers' songs, which accompany the beeping, are as monotonous as the process of shopping. A genre of the performance is the opera for 10 cashiers, supermarket sounds, and piano.
In
my opinion, it's an outstanding feature which really attracts the audience. It is not only about the music, but the context first. It's very interesting. I was really shocked by the opera, mind you, in a positive way. First of all, I was touched by the topic and the means of its presentation in a natural way. It's a tragic comedy ranging from funny to touching events, and it's amazing. We have a very positive attitude towards Ukraine. This is truly the case as it's officially declared by our government, and it is also the position of all of our people. We understand you well because we also faced a similar situation and are still facing it today. And the most interesting is at the end of the program. It's the Babylon Opera Show, one of the large-scale premieres by Vlad Troitsky at GOGOLFEST. It's a story of the birth and destruction of the metaphorical Tower of Babel. The Bible story about the conflict between people and God is projected onto the urban tragedy of contemporary society, filled with the premonitions of the apocalypse. A mixture of languages and the birth of nations are presented by a mix of high-contrast music styles. Avant-garde and rock, trip-hop, and shamanic folklore are combined with allusions on romantic and Baroque operas. Different vocal techniques are performed to the accompaniment of special music instruments, piano, French horn, various clarinets, contrabass, and violoncella. The music component flows in parallel with a narrative based on the Book of Revelations. This is a birth of the chimeric sound universe, where echoes of Sumerian day Mesopotamia resonate with medieval European melodies and rhythms of the modern metropolis. What is Babylon? We say that it's a project which is not finished, as the people failed to understand each other. On the other hand, people dared to build this tower, a dream which united them appeared.
Люди дерзнули, они дерзнули строить эту башню. Появилась мечта, вокруг которой они объединились.
Opera soloists, circus artists, musicians, actors, and puppets appeared on the opera by Vlad Troitsky. The music was composed by Roman Hohorhiv and Ilya Razumko. The Babylonian creation myth was a centerpiece of GOGOLFEST. A lot of festival stories were based on the Babylonian myth, describing love on the backdrop of war and peace.
Я мир слушаю, но прежде всего
I listen to the world. Above all, you should look at the world around you, at the sky, people, trees, and listen to those people you invite on your journey, actors, musicians, artists.
I have the feeling that it's very strong performance and very fantastic. Part of video art is also very, very interesting. So I'm glad here to come, especially that we would like to invite Lech Troicki with this performance to Poland.
It seems to me that the most important force of GOGOLFest is that there are no art dogmas here. It demonstrates that there is a beautiful variety of art forms. This makes GOGOLFest the excellent place for meetings.
Мне кажется, это как раз делает GOGOLFest таким прекрасным местом встреч.